Hello everyone. In this lesson we will learn about themes. Let's begin with a question. So what is a theme? A theme is what controls the design or appearance of your website. So a theme is what controls things like the fonts being used, the colors being used, and the page layout, right? So how many columns there are, things like that. So big picture, when we think of our website, let's think of two main concepts: content and presentation or appearance. Now the posts and pages we create, those control the actual content of the website, and the theme controls the appearance or the design. Alright, that's enough talking. Now let's just jump right into the action so you can visually see with your own eyes an example of what a theme is. Alright, so this is what my public website looks like right now. But check this out. If I navigate over to my admin dashboard area by using this link, and then if I look in the sidebar for the appearance option, I can either click directly on this main appearance item, or I can click on themes in this pop-out menu. Okay, so these are the three themes that WordPress comes with out of the box. And you can see that this one, 2019, says active, because that's the particular theme that my website is using. Now, depending on when you're watching this lesson, you might not have the exact same three themes here, because the people who create WordPress release a new theme every year. Long story short, you might not have the exact same three themes that I have here, but that's okay because the exact same concepts still apply. So back to the task at hand, if I want to change the way my website looks, I can stop using this theme by activating one of these two themes. So for example, I will hover over this 2017 theme, and then I will go ahead and click this Activate button. And now if I go and check out my public-facing website, so if I click this link, we can see that my website looks completely different now. And it's because we switched to a new theme. We are using a new theme. And let's imagine that we don't really like this theme and we want to switch to yet another one. So I will just jump back to my admin dashboard, click on Appearance in the sidebar, and I'm going to try out the theme named 2016. So I will just click Activate, and then jump back to my public-facing website. And we can see that new theme in action. Now I really like this theme. It's the one that I'm going to stick with, but before I go any further, I do want to let you know that you are not limited to the three themes that WordPress comes with out of the box. Let me show you what I mean. So if I go back to my admin area and click on Appearance, I want to stress that you are not limited to just the three themes that you see here. In reality, there are thousands of free themes you can choose from. So check this out. If we click this large Add New Theme area down here, or if we click Add New up here towards the top of the page, if we click on either of those links, we are taken to this new page with a ton of new themes to choose from. Now, if you immediately see one that you like, just hover over it and click the blue Install button. But if you scroll through this list of featured themes and you don't see one that you really like, that's okay, because remember, there's much more than just these featured ones. There are thousands to choose from. And what you can do is utilize this search menu up in the top right corner. So maybe you're looking for a theme that has a dark background or a light background, or maybe you want a blue themed site or a green site. You get the idea. Just search for whatever keywords you're interested in, whatever kind of theme you're looking for. Maybe if your business is a restaurant, you could even search for that. Or if you're a photographer, you could search for photo gallery or photographer. You get the idea. Now, before I jump back to the 2016 theme that I really like, I want to show you how easy it is to install and utilize a new theme that you find. So for example, I know that there's a theme named Button that I really like. So if I search for that, Button, it's the first result here. So once you find a theme you like, just hover over it and then click the blue Install button. Okay, and then once the installation completes, now you can click Activate. Or if you just click on Appearance back in your sidebar, that'll take you back to a screen where you can see only the themes that you actually have installed. And in my case, now we can see that Button is included here. So now I'm free to go ahead and click the Activate button. And if I switch back over to my public-facing website, here we can see that new button theme in action. Okay, now obviously you are free to use any theme that you would like, but for the purposes of this course, why don't we stay on the same page? Why don't we go ahead and use the same theme? So I really like the 2016 theme, so I'm going to jump back to my admin area, click on Appearance, hover over this 2016 theme and click Activate. Now, if you're watching this video in 2018 or 2019 or even beyond that, and your WordPress didn't come with the 2016 theme out of the box, you can always just click on Add New and simply use this search bar to search for 2016. Okay, and there we see it. Now again, you are free to use any theme that you like. There are thousands to choose from, but every theme is a little bit different. And even though all themes use the same general concepts, when you're just starting out with WordPress, I think it will be easier for you to follow along with me using the same theme as me. And then once you've worked through the course and you're familiar with the concepts, it would be a piece of cake for you to go through this course a second time where you use a theme of your choice. So it's totally up to you. If you're feeling brave right now, you don't have to use 2016, but that is the theme that I'm going to use. So let's jump back to our public-facing website, and let's get down to work. The first thing that I want to address is our navigation menu. Now, if you switched to a new theme and you still successfully see your navigation menu, that's great. But if you switched to a theme and your navigation menu disappeared, I don't want you to panic. So for example, if my navigation menu was not here, what would I do? How could I get it back? Let me show you. Let's go back into our admin dashboard, and in the sidebar under Appearance, click on Menus. And in this area of the page, below the preview of our menu, we see Display Location. Now, because the theme that I was using previously matches the same name as this new theme I'm using, this checkbox was smart enough to stay checked. Now, every theme has different display locations. For example, one theme might let you add the navigation menu to the sidebar, or down in the footer, or up in the header. So there's different options for each theme, and if your website no longer displays your navigation menu, you just need to come to this screen and probably choose the option that reads either primary menu, or top menu, or header menu, or something along those lines. Every theme is a bit different, but you get the general idea. So make sure one of them is checked and then click Save Menu. Okay, for our next bit of business, let's imagine that we don't really like this thick black border around all four edges of our website. Or maybe instead of the links turning blue when we hover over them, and these links in the sidebar being blue, maybe we want to use green or pink or any other color. Well, most themes, but not all themes, make it very easy to customize basic settings like that. So check it out. If we jump over to our admin dashboard area, and in the sidebar look for Appearance, and then look in the pop-out menu for Customize. Okay, from this new screen along this left-hand sidebar, we see all sorts of different settings that we can change. Now again, not every theme allows you to customize all of these settings. Some themes will only let you change maybe 2 or 3 of these types of things, and other themes might let you customize even more. But in my case, because I'm using the 2016 theme, I see an option named Colors. So if I go ahead and click on that, I see these different colors that I can change. So first we see something called background color, and if I click on that color patch, I can choose any color I want. You get the idea. Now personally, I don't want any background color or border. So for example, if most of my web page has a white background, I just want the very edges to be white as well. So I'm just going to click this white tile, Okay, and then if I click on this color tile again, that will collapse that menu. Okay, the next color is called page background color, and this is what controls the vast majority of the screen. So feel free to choose whatever you like. I'm going to stick with white. Let's click this to toggle that or to close it again. Okay, the next color is link color. So instead of blue, I'm going to choose maybe like a red or a pink. Okay, and you'll notice that that changes the colors of the links in the sidebar and the hover color. So when I hover over a title or if I hover over any of the links in the navigation menu, it uses that new color that I just chose. Okay, the next color, main text color, I think that goes without saying. That's what controls the main text. I'm going to leave that as black just so that my text is easy to read for everyone. And then secondary text color. We can see that this 2016 theme uses that color for things like the date, the slogan of our website, so on and so forth. So I will just set that back to the default gray. I think that looks good. And at this point, I'm happy with my changes, so I will click this Save and Publish button up at the top. Okay, and then to get back to our main admin dashboard, we can just click this X in the top corner. And now, just to test things out, if I jump back to my public-facing website, we can see that those customizations are in place. Okay, for our next bit of business, why don't we work on customizing this header content? So maybe we want to use a different title instead of my blog for the website, or maybe we want to use a different slogan. Or maybe you have a logo for your company that you want to use here instead of a text-based title. So to begin working on those changes, you can go back to your admin from this link and then click on Appearance and Customize. Or here's a shortcut, you can just click Customize right here. Now again, every theme is different. The particular theme that I'm using makes it very easy to edit this content. I can just click on this blue circle icon next to my blog, and it automatically takes me to the field that controls that. So maybe I want to switch this to Learning WordPress. So if your theme doesn't have these blue edit circle icons, that's okay, because you can still change all of this content. You just have to know where to look for it. So for example, instead of clicking this blue circle icon next to the slogan that I want to change, if your theme didn't have that blue icon, I can tell you that the slogan is also referred to as the tagline. So when you first get into this main customize screen, you can look under the site identity option, and that's where the title and the slogan live. So you could change the slogan to our slogan here, or if you're like me, you could just leave it completely blank. Okay, so I think that already looks a lot better. But what if you want to use a company logo? So an image instead of text right here. Well, over in the sidebar, we see this logo area. So just click on the Select Logo button. Then click this Select Files button. Next, it's up to you to choose an image file from your computer's hard drive that you want to use. In my example, I want to use this logo file. Okay, then click this blue select button down here in the bottom right corner. WordPress gives me the option to crop the image, but I don't want to crop it, so I can just click Skip Cropping. And there we see it. Now maybe you just want to use your logo and you want to skip this title text entirely. If that's the case, you can use this Display Site Title and Tagline option and just uncheck it. Okay, so this looks good to me. Now I'm just going to click the blue Save and Publish button. If you want to go back to the full list of options that you can customize, use this left pointing arrow. I'm done with my customizations for now, so I can just click this X icon to go back to my website. And that's actually going to bring this lesson to a close. In our next lesson, we'll begin creating real content for our pages. To be more specific, if I look at my About Us page, we see that I'm still using this placeholder content. And in our next lesson, we will learn how to replace this with legitimate content. So we will learn how to add our own photographs, YouTube videos, and more. Let's keep our momentum rolling, and I will see you in the next lesson.